Yes, hey, how you doing? Again, this is the HBCU Stroll with yours truly, Johnnie Cole. What's behind me is the only Texas Southern University football team to win an outright SWAC championship, and it was important that I get this background drop to let these gentlemen know behind me, they men now, that they hadn't been forgotten. This is the week coming up. It's homecoming. And I always do a special thing for my university. And I got special people that I'm going to bring on to this show. And they're going to just we're going to talk about the homecoming. We're going to talk about the times that we were all boys and girls, and now we all men and women, and let you know that my special guests are special people, and they all around. Some of them are still in Houston. Some of them are back on the East Coast. And, it's just a pleasure to watch my friends move from Texas Southern on up. And they're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about, what it means to go to a black college, HBCU, and they're going to talk about their experiences. And definitely we're going to talk about what's coming up. Allison and Alvin's homecoming party. We've been doing it for 30 years now, and I have Alvin be one of my guests, and those are things that we're talking about. But these gentlemen behind you, they need to be saluted. They've done what I asked them to do. Unfortunately, some things took place, but nobody could take the effort, the perseverance, the determination of these gentlemen. This is the 2010 SWAC championship football team. So with no later ado, let me bring my guest on and they'll start popping on. All right, how you guys doing?
Hello, how are you?
Good, man. I'm gonna start from the top. Kevin, with Kevin Jerman. Kevin, tell them what you're doing now, where you are, and the year that you finished.
All right. Hey, I'm Kevin Jernigan, and I finished Texas Southern in the spring of '90, and I had an awesome time at Texas Southern. In fact, I was engaged in the greatest band in the world, the Ocean of Soul Marching Band, and I was also in a Kappa Kappa Psi band fraternity. And then, of course, the band was on the other side of the yard, so I had to come on the other side of the yard and see what was going on. And I played with Omega Psi Phi, and I was like, oh, my goodness. I didn't realize there was another part of the university.
That's right. And you are the young pup on this show now.
I'm the young pup, and man, I had a great time. You guys led the way.
Yeah. On the bottom is used to be my Mike. What did you call the little chute between our rooms?
Oh, that was the air vent, man. That was in Jones Hall. That was the air vent. We used to talk through the air vent at nighttime, trying to get ready for that 5 o'clock morning run, my man.
Mike, give us a little information, a little background, where you are, what you're doing.
I came to TSU in '81. Me and Cole came in together as freshmen. I finished in '88. Right now, I'm a IT cybersecurity consultant. I've been doing that for probably about the last 9-10 years. I'm in the suburbs of Houston now. I'm probably about 35-40 minutes from TSU, but I try to get on the campus as much as possible. I look forward to these homecomings because they give me an opportunity to come back and really reestablish relationships that may have been lost, or enforce the ones or embrace the ones that we still have.
Thank you. Right next to you is like my sister. Man, we was in school together, and we ate those leftovers together.
Yes.
Right.
I love the cafeteria food. My name is Angie. I enjoyed the cafeteria food. I did not miss a meal. My name is Angie Crate. I graduated from Texas Southern in 1986, the summer of 1986. And I'm currently living in Delaware. I work for the United Way of Delaware. I'm responsible for engagement and partnerships. So I work with all of the partners throughout the state of Delaware. And I absolutely love working for nonprofits to actually help community service. and I'm also the president of the Newcastle County NPHC. So I'm part of the National Pan-Atlantic Council. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Look at them HBCUs. And one
Wow.
thing about Angela, when I was a coach there, it didn't matter nowhere we went. She was
On the
gonna
East
be
Coast.
there. East Coast. We went up to Connecticut. There, she was always there. And one reason why, one of the things that we're doing this homecoming show is my man Alvin Williams. I had a chance to play with him as well as coaching. Alvin, bring us up to where you are.
Yeah, currently, guys, Baylor University in Waco, working as one of the directors of enrollment systems and technology services there. I actually enjoy what I do from, dealing with technology in the education space from higher ed to K-12. I've been doing that a little over 12 to 14 years total. But outside of that, from my experiences coming from Texas Southern, being taught by two of the best there, Mike Fannin being one of them, Johnnie Cole passing on all the knowledge, stay in the game, guys. But it was a blessing to come through the university and go on to a whole nother level of an aspect of the game there after playing on the professional level. And then just being able to come back and then share that same love with not only my kids, community of kids, starting some youth programs out here where we are in the Missouri City, Texas area, and they've flourished. And actually, two kids that actually played within our programs when they were 6 and 7 actually just made the roster for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, wow.
Grant Dale Pitt and his cousin Mitchum. So those two kids played all the way since, through with my kids, and they all went to college, played against each other, and now they're on the professional level. Yeah. I mean, it's several other ones, but those two are just the most recent.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that we have a homecoming talk is we've always got together every Friday for the last 30 years. And Allison, rest her soul, is not here anymore, who was very close to you, Alvin. Can you kind of tell us where we are? Or we got something going for is this year 30 or year 31 that we have this party on Friday? And kind of tell us just a little bit about it.
Yeah, this is like 31, and you know how they say 31 years running and still hanging in there with it. But I agree with you. Lord bless her soul. She's not with us now, but still trying to keep the same fire going. A location that the people that are not just here, but the people when they come back from out of town, like Angela within herself, they travel back in. They want something to do. So the night before, typically the actual party, we typically do a happy hour at Swagger, and that's going to still go on. The day of that function, which is that Friday night, we actually will have the same, homecoming party at Sandman Studios, which we actually were blessed to have some sponsors for the first time this year, which are Swagger, Kim Ainge and Camaretti, and as well as McQueen's, and they're all Texas Southern related outside of the participation they have with each other. So the event will continue to go on. We will still have it. We will still flourish it. We will still invite back everybody, let them know that, hey, look, come on home. There's something to do. And then the day of the actual game, we always go to the tailgate and hang out on the Kitty and Reggie's tent and just sit around and talk shop.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna give the lady the first on the floor. Angela, first, how did you get to TSU, and what does Texas Southern mean to you coming from that far?
Well, actually, how I got to Texas Southern, he actually played in game. TJ Thomas Jackson, he played in Texas Southern band, and he brought up, because back then we didn't have computers or anything, so he brought me an application to Mobile, Alabama. Because I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I live in Delaware now. Right. So he brought the application to me during spring break. I filled it out and I transferred to Texas Southern because I was in another college. So I transferred to Texas Southern. And I don't want to talk about the other college. I'm just so I said other college, not right. So I transferred. It was all because of TJ Jackson, Thomas Jackson. He played in the band and asked me to try it out. So I actually started the summer of 1983 and graduated the summer of 1986.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mike, I mean, you were my what you call it, the air vent
That was the air
roommate.
vent. We was rooms
And if
next to each
anybody
other.
knew what we was talking about, it was 4 to a room, and there was a vent in between, and we
Right.
used to tell jokes through the vent till we just all used to fell
We
asleep.
get tired and go fall asleep. You're absolutely
Now,
right.
Mike, you are a Houston native,
Yes.
and some people talk of, and you were a great athlete coming out of high
Thank
school.
you. Appreciate that.
What made you come to Texas Southern? Because you came and started as a freshman, and unfortunately you got hurt.
Well, I had a circumstance that kept me here in Houston. I was originally supposed to go to Oklahoma State to play football. I ended up having a kid at a very early age, so I ended up staying here. Me and McGee went to high school together.
That's
We
core.
went to Milby together. We played football together at Milby, which is not a predominantly black school. So when I got to Texas Southern, I was ready. I was ready. I was
Okay.
ready. I enjoyed my time there. Met a lot of great people from a lot of different corners of the world. Just with Johnnie Cole, Lionel Bassett, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Just a lot of guys like Alvin came later, but it was like the guys that was in front of us: Eddie Owens, Dale Shepard, Brett Maxey, Greg Williams, all those guys. We came in together and played well, and we bonded together. It's like I have 75 additional brothers that came in with me, and because it was 55 freshmen that came in with us, Johnny. And a lot of them didn't make it, but the ones that were there, we have that bond. We might not see each other for 10, 15 years, but as soon as somebody say swag, soon somebody say swag, we know what time it is.
Let's get something straight. We swag.
We swag. We swag. Yeah, exactly.
Now, Kevin,
That is correct.
Playing with the Ocean of Soul, you're a Q-Dog, KK Psy. I mean, man, you've done it. You've all over, and I've seen you evolve as with the little hat with the dang thing over your face. Man, how did you come to Texas Southern?
Coach, I just want to let you know that one phone call does make a difference, and it could change the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. So I got a phone call at home one night from Ronald B. Thornton, who was the assistant band director. He said, "Hey, man, I got a scholarship for you." I was like, "At Texas Southern?" I said, "Where is Texas Southern?" It's in Houston. "You say it's full scholarship?" "I'm there." And boy, when I got to Texas Southern and saw what I saw, I was like, "Ooh, this is a great decision." Because being in the band in the front line, the majorettes marched in front of us, right in front of us. And I was like, "Oh wow, this is a great view here."
Right.
And that changed the difference.
Alvin as well was a top athlete. Matter of fact, my brother recruited you, and
yes, he did.
And you could have went a lot of places. You stayed at home, and most people don't think that people will stay at home for Texas Southern, but why did you stay and come to Texas Southern?
Well, it was a camaraderie of the group of guys that got all recruited with me. I would say they called it, they put it in the newspaper, the Sweet 16. Yeah. So on the recruitment trip, getting to hang out with, Mike and all those guys, they took us out to a few places. I won't say the names. Those buildings no longer standing now. However, it was such a great time, just getting to hang out with all those guys. And then at the end of the day, some of us just all went in the room and was like together, "Hey guys, why don't we all just go on sign? Let's go on sign right here." And I actually didn't. For the summertime, I actually went to UT. I was in school already. And then right after the summer was over, Doc Harvey. I met with Doc Harvey, and Doc Harvey told me, he says, "Hey, if you don't come, you'll be back." And that stayed with me, man. And I actually just called the school back and was like, "Hey, if that opportunity's still there, I want to come." And I came on over. Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
It was one of the things, Angela, since me and you are, I think we're those. Now, Mike, you might be. It was just a camaraderie ship between it was Q's, we supported Q's, it was Deltas, Kappas, that's how I am a yo. We supported the band, the football players, we started our own little social club. Kind of tell us, Mike, being in Houston. Yeah. Being in Houston, I mean, you actually stayed on campus most of the time.
Well, my thing is, I mean, I grew up in Sunnyside, Scott and Reed Road, represent, but
Right.
I already knew what was there. It was no reason for me to keep running back and forth. My life at that time when I got to TSU was at TSU. That was my life for those 4 or 5 years. So I truly embraced it. I truly enjoyed it. Me and my mom talk about this a lot, how I didn't come home. And she had to track me down half the time to find out if I was okay or not. I tell my daughters that although I went to school in town, I was pretty much somebody that came. I treated like I was out of state. I felt like I knew I had somewhere to go, but I enjoyed my time on campus.
Yeah. Angela, I mean, I can remember y'all pledging. I mean, you must have been the most sweetest girl I ever met. We just instantly, I guess maybe because we were from out of town.
We were all of the out of staters. We kind of hung out together. Most of my friends actually were from out of state. All of us kind of connected. I think Alicia was probably the only one that was a native Houstonian. Outside of Alicia, all of the rest of us were like from LA to Chicago. So none of us were from actually Houston. So we kind of connected. We lived in the dorm together. I was in Lanier Hall for women. So stayed in Lanier. So we had a great time in Lanier Hall and hung out on campus. And we worked, I mean, I was on the student government. I worked with the student court. So I actually did a lot on campus because I like to be active on campus. So we all were involved on campus as well as in our classrooms. We did great schoolwork as well, but we were active on campus because we wanted to make sure we stayed connected with the university, because I really didn't go off campus to do a lot of partying in the city. So a lot of people went to the city of Houston, but all of my friends, we stayed right on campus and did everything on campus, which was good because we didn't get exposed to some things we might have gotten exposed to. Things that may not have graduated. So we were grateful for that. So all of us hung out on campus. We did a lot. Had a lot of fun. Like I said, I hung out with a lot of band members, a lot of my friends. Like we had a whole group from Alabama that played baseball. So we're connected with all of those guys that played baseball that was from Birmingham.
Woo. Go ahead and give Rodney Sanders and Slim and my boys. I love all my boys. They the baseball team.
Yeah, the whole
That's how
base,
close we were.
We had the 4 guys from Alabama, so we all hung out together. So we had a little Alabama connection. Had a lot of Alabama guys in the band as well. Because the guy TJ, he was in the band, and we also had Scrap and all of them, were in the band.
The Georgetown boys.
Yeah, Georgetown. Everybody know Georgetown is my BFF. I always hang out with G. So that's who connected me with a lot of the band people as well. So I knew a lot of the members of the band because of Georgetown and my homeboys from Alabama, Mobile and Birmingham.
I'm gonna go through you guys. I'm gonna start with the young man, Kevin. What makes you love TSU so much? I don't think these people realize how much we love Texas Southern University, And I'll tell you my little story later, but go ahead.
There's so many reasons why I love Texas Southern. One of the reasons why I love it is because you got a chance to grow as a young man. So like everyone was saying, living on campus, you get a chance to make those decisions as a young man. And so you grow not only education-wise, but as for manhood. The second thing I enjoyed about Texas Southern is it gave us an opportunity to be leaders on campus. So if you go to historical other schools, you may not have that opportunity to be leaders. So we got a chance to be leaders in the student government, in the university program council. Johnny, you were a leader yourself. I mean, you were a leader on campus. All you guys were leaders on campus. So it gives you that opportunity not only to get an education, but it gives you that chance to exercise your leadership skills.
Alvin, go ahead.
Well, I would say why I love Texas Southern so much is that I was raised on the campus. That campus raised me. Everything I know today, how to basically live, I mean, I had my tough moments. I had my great moments. I had moments that, from words can't even pronounce. But, even for instance, I would even have to say this. We're sitting on the call with the founder of Geek Five. Geek Five Geek. You understand me? That was the football. Then it became almost kind of like the athletic fraternity. And I was like, oh man, I got to be a part of that. That kind of stuff like that, that camaraderie, that togetherness, that, beat up the little kid and make him tougher and stuff like that. That kind of stuff.
You came with a great class.
Yeah, you can't get away from it, man. I mean, I came in there with Daryl Colbert, Donald Narcisse. I mean, out of the Sweet 16, if y'all really want to know, out of the Sweet 16 that came in, 11 guys played ball after college.
Right.
Wow. That was
Ain't that crazy? That's crazy.
Angela, wherever TSU go, I know you're going to be there. You don't miss no homecomings. If TSU playing in close, anywhere near East Coast,
anywhere on the East Coast, I got to make it.
What was so special about TSU to you?
Well, just like Kevin said, I grew up there. It was like, I went to a couple of colleges before, but once I got to TSU, it was like home for me. I ended up doing my internship because I was a banking and finance major. When I moved to Delaware, I came here for banking and finance. So I got a lot of banking exposure because I was able to work at a savings and loans while I was there, as well as get to meet a lot of people. My instructors were very, very good. They helped me to understand what I knew, what I didn't know, what I need to work on, and help me to become a professional. I mean, you get to be in leadership because, like you said, at other universities, you may not be able to become a leader, but I was always a leader. I was active in my sorority the entire time I was there. So holding offices in the sorority, student government, student court. So always very active on campus, but I just love the fellowship we had. Like all of my friends, we ate on campus. We did everything on campus. And I just love, I graduated in 86. I've only missed 3 homecomings since 1986.
Wow.
So most of them were through COVID. I missed 2, 19 and 20, 21. But outside of that, I went to every single homecoming. And because all of my friends, we all came back, we talked about it. We have probably a group of about 100, 150 people that come back every year. And we kind of socialize and just stay connected. I mean, all the way from Los Angeles, our friends come back. So I just like the idea that we've never disconnected over 36 years. We've stayed connected, never fallen out of friends, just stayed friends forever. So we made a bond. And this is male and female, not just the girls, but male and female.
Well, we need that 150 at the party on Friday.
Okay.
And y'all, all y'all was the most beautiful girls. If I tell anybody something about Texas Southern, we had the most beautiful girls during that time. I'm gonna change the subject, Mike, with you because you're a football guy. And what is the dark side of Texas Southern?
I really wouldn't call it a dark side. I think it's more of a teaching moment.
Let me finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And my thing is, because I've been to a lot of black colleges and I kind of look at it, it's when people hire their own that gives them that special thing. And I just don't think that we do a good job of that. But go ahead, it's in your lap.
Well, as far as the dark moment from aspect of what, as far as coming back to support the university.
Yes.
Okay.
And being welcome.
Well, I really don't think athletic department does enough to reach out to the former players. Okay. They're not big enough in the community because my thing is this. I just know the head coach right now. I don't know any of the coordinators, defensive back coaches, none of that. It's not easily accessible for us to get to know that. So if we, I know we need to do a little digging on our own, but some things should be easily accessible, and that's not what we're getting. And that's something they should have, like an athletic dinner for former players on campus, things of that nature. They don't have that. So it's hard for me to I stay connected because I have a genuine love for the school. But if I looked at it from a product standpoint of what they're selling, I wouldn't be buying. Simple as that.
Right. Well, one of the things that, like I said, you know, and I've been saying it even when I was there, people give money to people. They don't give money to buildings.
Absolutely.
And
Exactly.
it ain't just, and let me say this too, it ain't just at Texas Southern. I was at Southern University, I was at Tennessee State, I was at Alabama State. It's all the same, some of the same issues. And I've always said people give money to people. You got to be able to open yourself up. And especially if you work there, you're in a service position. So if somebody says, oh, well, I'm a TSU person, you should already open your arms and open your door and get engaged and make them feel like they're a part of it. What about you, Alvin? And your party is one of the things that we love to come back to.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that's a great ending item to actually be able to say, even after if there was anything ever, you know, bad in the mindset of any kind that I would have ever even thought about. I can't say that I had any dark moments at the campus because everything was always a loving moment for me. Miss Scales was a mother for me.
Yes, all of us.
Yes, Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
So exactly.
Give her flowers.
And if I needed something, I mean, I would go to Doc, Doc Mays or Doc Harvey. You know, those guys. It was just always such a giving situation. And my mom taught me that. Hey, look, if you ever feel like you're experiencing anything that you don't feel like you can handle, don't sweat it. Go to somebody and ask about it. And that's what, you know, I learned on the campus, and that's how I removed any possibilities of dark moments in my shell of being covered on the campus. So that's my take on it.
One of the reasons why I am like I am, because you know, guys, you know, I love the university, and I come back, and I'm from Ohio, is that's what we were taught. I thought that our administration and our president, H.O. Spearman, I mean, he was accessible to us. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Big John, Dawn, Miss Green. I mean, we could talk about the administration that was there. Dr. Cunningham, who's still there, and that's what I had got from Texas Southern. You know, I mean, I could go over Mike's house. Alvin came in, of course, Colbert, Rudy Johnson. I mean, we could name them. Stick, the band. We were close to the band.
That's right.
What's the maestro? The maestro. We knew the band director, and if we needed something from the band director, Dr. Butler. It was just a great feeling of you belong, and this is our university. But since we've left, you know, I don't get that feel. At least I don't. But that's why homecoming is so important to come back and try to give. Kevin, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I have two thoughts on that. I'll make it really quick. You all remember registration. So registration was a nightmare when we were in school. Had to go get stickers. Guys, that made us stronger. That made us be able to deal with some of the things we deal with today. So even though it may have been a dark time during that time period, look at how it made us strong today.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things I want to talk about is alumni support, because I struggle with this a little bit. But one of the things I look at is what can we do to give back to the university? So, you know, a lot of people say, well, if I give back to the university, what am I going to get out of it? Well, one of the things you can do is, as a season ticket holder, which I am now, hey, I'm giving back to the kids, supporting the kids as a season ticket holder. So I have to look at things that way. Not what can the university do for me, but what can I do for the university to enhance the experience?
Right.
Exactly.
I think I think one don't go without the other, and you are correct. What about you, Angela?
For me, I absolutely love coming back to homecoming. But you guys have mentioned some things, but the Alumni Association they've really gotten more involved. I mean, when we first started coming back in the 80s, 86, up until about 90, I didn't know of any Alumni Association events. But now they're having lots of events. We have events on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. So I think the Alumni Association is trying to make sure, and I'm a member, I'm a national member. I paid my national dues. There's no local chapter, so I've at least done that so I could be a member so that I can get the information. But I think all of us need to just give back, just like Kevin said. I try to make sure I do a donation every single year. You get to write it off on your taxes, so why not?
Right.
So
Yes, sir.
I make sure I do a donation and write it off on my taxes at the end of the year. But if we don't give back to our HBCUs, who else will? So it's important that we give back and support all the events that the university have for us. If I'm in town, and I've also had students from Delaware. From my church, I have 2 little girls that are at Texas Southern right now that I encourage to go there. So I also set up a booth at the different schools here that have HBCU week with Texas Southern paraphernalia. They actually give it to, I call the Alumni Association. They send me a big box. I set it up because I want kids to be exposed to Texas Southern, even though we're here in Delaware. So I've done that for the last couple of years as well.
Now we don't have a president right now. We have an interim. I would love to see a Texas Southern person in that position.
Me too.
I would love to see that. So I don't know how we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
Byron Price, Rudy Johnson. He's a CEO out in San Diego. Byron is a big man everywhere he goes. He's over in Africa. He's in New York. I think we got some potential candidates, and maybe hopefully we could push that. But back to
homecoming, like we're at homecoming, we need to talk about asking some of those people to apply for the job and make sure that they look at them and not just overlook them because they want whoever they want right now. But it's up to us to start talking about it to them so that they will apply, because I definitely would love for one of the Texas Southern alums to get the job, because I think they will have a better buy-in. They'll appreciate the university and the students as well.
Yes. I really feel that person need to be invested.
Absolutely.
And just like Kevin, you was talking about how registration used to be over there in what was that? I can't think of the building. It's still there now.
Fairchild.
And we used to go to the basketball court. And man, them guys used to be out the door.
Yes.
But like you say, we appreciate those times. Those times made us stronger. Because I know in my room I had 5 roommates with 4 beds and a mattress underneath. And Mike, when we went on them road trips, if you didn't get back, somebody was what? In your bed.
Like, in your bed.
you just go to the floor. But that was a guy that his Pell Grant didn't come back yet.
Yeah. He was Wildcat. He was Wildcatting, Cole.
Yeah. Wildcat. You remember them days? I gotta say,
what though, guys?
I really Brent Maxey.
Go ahead. Yes, the strangest thing about all that, those hard moments, Miss Scales took care of that for all of us, man. So they spoiled us, and we never actually experienced
we had to go through
the long lines. We didn't have to do none of that. It's like, man, I was so amazed, and so I mean, those hard moments that I know some people did have.
I had it.
But she turned it into such a great moment, man, because they took care of so much stuff for us, man.
Right.
Now, the one thing I can say by going to TSU, you were actually tested. And when you got out there in that corporate world, you was ready for that.
Absolutely.
You was ready for that. Because I tell my daughters and my nephew, he's at PV. He fell and bumped his head, but he's at PV. But anyway.
My goddaughter is there.
You mean the school up north?
Yeah, the school up north, man. That prairie out there.
Yeah.
I tried to explain to him because he went there on the track scholarship, partial track scholarship.
Okay.
And I tried to, and this is the thing that people don't understand is how much you have to give of yourself when you're an athlete, a college athlete. Right. I mean, you basically belong to the university. And I explained to him that I gave him A through Z, but he had to see it for himself. And he decided that was too much for him. He just wanted to be a student. And I'm okay with that. Right. But the thing is, I think a lot of the regular students didn't realize how much we had to give up just to be an athlete on campus. Mm-hmm. Because when you guys were out on Thursday and Friday doing homecoming party and all that stuff, we was in the dorm, locked down.
Yeah.
So a lot of the athletes didn't really get a chance to enjoy homecoming until after we finished and come back.
Yep.
Right. No, you right about that.
So,
You definitely right
so
about
but
that.
but the thing, but the back to you, Cole. The thing for me about TSU, everything I experienced and everything I love was based in Jones Hall.
Right.
Outside my media room, in my house, I got Jones Hall on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, ain't no more Jones Hall there now.
No, they ain't no more
Brad.
Jones Hall.
They party on top of Jones Hall right now.
Yeah, they party on top of Jones Hall now. But
y'all didn't get one of the bricks.
That's the that's the love that I have for my school.
And I think one of the things,
pride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
One of the things is that from traveling from black college to black college is most of the time the people who stays on campus and lives on campus gives the university more appreciation.
Yes.
And you guys know, and you can talk about it. When you have your friends that goes to the predominantly white schools, they can't compare the stories that we have.
No, that's right. No.
And Angela said a lot about the leadership that it gives us. Kevin talked about how it makes you, ready for those positions.
Yep.
And when we were growing up, most of our leaders, like Andrew Young, who came on campus, Jesse Jackson, who came on campus, they were all black college graduates.
Right.
And it's so important now. And with Alvin and you, Mike, being I don't know what star they would have gave y'all if y'all would have came out now, but y'all were good players that made decisions, to stay at home, and look at you now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's the HBCUs is real important, and hopefully we take it. Alvin, our party, man, Alice, you, man. I mean, that deal was it means a lot to me. That's one of the things that I always put on my schedule when I come home.
Everybody.
Yes. Thank you guys for having. I want to also say thank you to again those sponsors that actually stepped up and doing some stuff for us this year to help us actually levy that cost. Swaggers, one of the sponsors, Kim Ainch, Camaretti, and also McQueen, and then also the people that I actually just chose. I know some people don't agree with the selection, but at the end of the day, I do. I trust in these people. These are the people that me and Alice actually dealt with the entire time, which is Alice and Martin Rogers, Nelson and Michelle Bauman, and Audrey Patton. And you guys know Audrey from Lajia. So those are the people that I went to and said, "Hey guys, come help me continue this journey because it's gotten bigger than me." And we need a lot of people to try to help make sure we communicate to the people that travel in the town and the people that live here, because it's just a lot of balls to juggle around and make sure we include everybody. So the party's there, and all the events are there.
Give us the update on her son as well.
Her son is actually back here in the Houston area. He's actually a photographer now.
Excellent.
Yeah. So he's actually working on the job. Decided to work instead of school. He felt like school just wasn't for him at the time, and came back. And the same thing that his mom's was doing in the photography, he decided to go down that same path, and it's actually working out pretty well for him. And actually we were going to use him to be the photographer for the event, but he already has an event lined up for that particular night. So again, it's the Friday night, the 29th. Sandman Studios. Doors open at 6. You guys come out and join us and enjoy another fabulous homecoming.
Bring some cigars. Hey, of course, I want to give a shout out to our lovely lady. We mentioned her a couple of times, Miss Scales. I can't say enough about Miss Scales and her support for us. All right, guys, we talking about the homecoming football game. Tailgate, I hadn't got exactly what big group is coming, but they usually have some big group, and it be about about 6, 7, 8,000 people on campus.
It's really
We
packed.
play Langston from California. What's your prediction, Angela?
Well, I'm going to say we're going to win.
Okay.
That's why we picked that team. We're going to win.
Okay. The team was handpicked. Kevin, what is the Ocean ready?
Oh, the Ocean is ready. Boy, I tell you, they've already performed twice this year, and I'm so looking forward to the Ocean performing at homecoming. It's going to be outstanding.
Now, did you go to the Battle of the Bands?
I went to the Battle of the Bands, and believe it or not, I have gotten feedback that the Ocean was one of the best bands at the Battle of the Bands. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, they tied with Southern.
Oh,
tied
did they tie with
exactly.
Southern?
They sure did, Michael.
All right, Mike, my football guy.
What's up?
Texas Southern, Lincoln College. What the score? Is us about 30 or what?
I say 25. I say 25. Yeah, 25. 25.
We got after him last year a little bit.
Yeah.
Albert, what you think?
Well, I'll give it that same push. It's not going to be easy still. I mean, in game situations, I'm always hoping that they're game ready. So, but from a numerical value, I think that they'll probably get them by at least a good 14. Two touchdowns up. Two touchdown win. Yeah.
Angela, you want to give some of your girls a shout out? Because
yes,
someone might be watching it.
I'm going to watching Alicia, all my Delta Gamma sorors. I love them. Yeah. We always do something with Delta Gamma, so I'm excited about seeing everyone. We're doing some stuff with alumni this year. So, of course, Alicia, Delisa, Pam, all my crew, we hang out every single year. Alicia and I have not missed, but Alicia probably had missed any. I missed the 3.
Alicia been coming. She was a baby.
So she knows all about Texas Southern. So I'm excited. We're going to have a great time. But they will be very upset if I didn't talk about Delta Gamma. So we will be there with our tent and all at the tailgate, having a great time.
Yeah. Well, I got to give a shout out to Sybil, because Sybil have a big old pot of gumbo at her house, which is right down the street. Sybil, please make some of that gumbo. If you ain't doing nothing, make sure you get in touch with Sybil.
Yeah.
Man, I've been missing that.
Oh man, Mike, big pots of gumbo and all you can drink and eat, man.
I'm rolling with Alvin. I'm with you, Alvin.
Every year. Every year.
I went there for the first time last year. I went to the breakfast.
Yeah. It was great. All right, what about the KK side? I know we got to give a shout out. I'm gonna get y'all Q dogs. I know y'all just growling but this the Kappa show.
I hear you.
What about the KK side?
Well, let me tell you about KK side and what we do, because I have to change uniforms from the morning and afternoon. So the band, you participate in the parade in that morning. And so right before the game, KK side and the band alumni, we go over to the band and we feed the band. And that's one of the things we do for homecoming. We want to make sure the band is fed before they go to the game. And so then we'll go to the game, I have to change it to my TSU shirt. And then after the game, it's on then. It's all about the brothers.
Boy, so you changed 3 times. All right, Al, Q dogs, baby.
And look here, well, the brothers will always be at the tent. They always have some amazing events going on, and it just brings back a lot of people each year. And this we just actually had our 75th, was it, Jernigan? Anniversary to the school, to the university. And when I tell you, I have to give a shout out to Bruce Boudreau. He helped, and Kevin, and they brought back some real strong leaders that are current leaders today. John Adolph, he came back. He pretty much was the ceremony of the speaker of the ceremony situation. It was a really nice event. So the brothers will be there in full on fashion, just being Omegas, the way that we've always had.
When I talked to Miss Diane, y'all might not know Miss Diane, she works for the maintenance department. I told her, make sure you sweep the Q dogs here, because you know how they like to get on the ground and hope it don't rain. The last couple, it rained, so they couldn't roll up in the mud. They over there with some cappers, y'all be sprinkling mud on our pants. We be both down over there. You know what I mean? But y'all run the pretty girls on our side. Mike, we got to send a shout out to Bruce Green,
Yes.
48, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Corey Giles, great high school coach now.
Yep.
Daryl Colbert, head coach at Beaumont United.
Yep.
Donald Narcisse, guys that we actually played with. You know, you have some of your guys that you want to make sure we get their name out there. And we
most
telling
definitely.
all y'all
My
to come
roommate,
to
Greg,
homecoming.
my boy GW, Greg Williams.
Greg Williams.
Got to shout out my boy Greg Williams now.
Yeah.
The guys like Greg Williams, my defensive back, Lois D. Berry, Eric Hudson, Roger Yop, all those guys there, man. You know, there was some incredible men now, but they was incredible back then. They had a sense of purpose, especially Roger Yop. When he came to TSU, Roger Yop had a sense of purpose when he got there, my man.
Yeah. He's one reason why I finished in engineering. He kind of guided me that way. He's very intelligent young man.
Yes.
The
young man has 3 patents.
Excellent.
Three patents.
Wow.
Yep.
And Albert, you're doing a great job up there at Baylor, Waco. You working out of Waco for Baylor University.
Yeah. In the IT field, what's just really, really strange and crazy is that Mike's in the technology field. Kevin Jones is in the technology field. So I guess we all must have saw something back then, and just fell into that space, and now it's just years later and it's still running, man. My kids in that same space, and we're all doing that same technology thing. So yeah.
And Angela, I know we talked earlier. Share, HBCU graduate, baby. Share what you're doing out there on the East Coast.
Well, actually, I do a lot on the East Coast. Like I said, I'm real active. Like I said, I started out in banking and finance. I came here to work at one of the banks and did that for 17 years. And after doing that, I went into nonprofit because I wanted to give back, and I volunteered. I do a lot of service stuff. That's probably the one thing that I absolutely love doing is service. So I'm pretty active, just serving the community and serving people, because that's what my parents taught me, and that's what I've done my entire life. But I absolutely love just letting everybody know I went to Texas Southern, encouraging them to think about Texas Southern, because it is an absolutely great university. And everyone know I went to Texas Southern University. I keep on paraphernalia. This is what I tell people. I don't wear all those fancy people, all those Eagles and all that stuff. I don't do any of that. But while I wear Texas Southern, they say, wear your favorite team sport. I wear a Texas Southern t-shirt. Yeah. If they say wear something, now I wear a sorority t-shirt. I never wear anything with anything on it but Texas Southern, Delta Sigma Theta.
Yeah, that's that pride that we learned at TSU. We didn't win a lot, but we fought hard.
Well, our basketball team is outstanding. Okay, football, basketball, we've been outstanding for a long, long time.
Yeah, our basketball program is ranked in the top 5 of all schools in the country, and winning. We got one of the winningest basketball programs in the country. And that's a hat off to Coach Moreland, who really got it going back in the 70s, 80s. Of course, some of the 90s. And then he kind of passed the torch on, and we've had some great coaching there. Unfortunately, we hadn't got off the ground yet with our football program, but hopefully Coach McKinney this year is pulling together. I know we failed last week, but football, it's an 11-game schedule, and you just got to get better from week to week. But our job is alumni.
We got to be PV, Cole. No matter, we got to be PV, man. I'm sorry. We got to be PV, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, I got to be on the sidelines on all that.
I understand that. But we got to. But let me give you some history, Cole and Alvin.
Yeah.
We 3 played in the very first Labor Day Classic.
1985.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
In the dome.
And wait a minute. So, in my very first game against PV,
you broke your foot.
No, I started in that game. I had 3 interceptions and returned 1 for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And that's when I actually became a whole new guy in the football world and the football planet. I was like, oh my God, this is college is amazing.
Well, man, it's been great. I'm gonna go around the horn, make your last comments, about how super it is to be going to HBCU and how important homecoming to you. Again, we'll start with you, Kevin.
Well, homecoming is such a monumental thing for us. If you look at all of us on this call and all the people that come back to homecoming, we're doctors, lawyers, coaches, preachers. And it gives us an opportunity not only to bond with each other, but it gives us an opportunity to have those young people see what the future could be attending Texas Southern. So I'm just so looking forward to homecoming and ready to be just out.
Right. All right, Big Mike, go ahead.
Well, I always look forward to homecoming. My pride run deep for the school. If you got a second, I want to show you something, how deep my pride run. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me move this for you. Let me show you how deep my pride run.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Hold on.
Don't be lying to much you made up. Oh, that's sweet.
You see that?
Yes, I do.
That's how deep my pride run, my man.
That's nice, bro.
That is nice.
That's nice.
So, like I said, TSU means everything to me, Cole. Everything.
Yeah. Angela, Miss Craig.
Hey, Texas Southern mean a lot to me. Everyone knows it mean a lot to me and my family. And my whole family, we all went to HBCUs. My older sister went to FAMU. My next older sister went to Grambling. And me and my younger sister was at Texas Southern. So we all HBCU proud. We absolutely love HBCUs. I encourage every young person, especially Black males. I just know what it does for Black males when they attend a HBCU. It just make you out of better men. You appreciate because you get to be leaders on campus, and you don't feel like you're not important, because when you leave the HBCU, you know you're somebody, and you're able to prove that when you go out into the workforce. So I always encourage young Black men, if it's not Texas Southern, pick any HBCU. In the state of Delaware State is free for most of our students. So I kind of have to sway that way because parents need to send their kids where they don't have to get a student loan. So it's always important if you can go to school for free. And if you can't get to Texas Southern, then go to the HBCU. I'm not going to pick the one for you. My first choice is Texas Southern. But we should all be encouraging everyone we know, anytime you're around, to let them know that Texas Southern is the first choice. And if they can't, then you work on them with another HBCU. But I absolutely love TSU. Everyone know I love TSU. And I would love it until death do me part.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Marriage.
Right. Well done.
Well, I want y'all to remember one thing now. We got a president position open.
Yes.
And we need us to push us.
Right.
Well, I'm pushing. I made some calls today.
Yeah. So I think it's very important because we don't have what you call a monarch on campus, somebody that's been there from the past to the present, and to make sure, because one thing when I worked there, I used to hate when people say, well, you know how TSU do it. Well, TSU has been one of the largest Black colleges, if not the second largest continuous for the last 40 some years. And I love it. It's been good to me. It's been good to my family. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you. You're always welcome. Continue to follow the HBCU Stroll, and we'll get into maybe an after show after the homecoming when y'all wake up from all the fun we're going to have when we down there.
Absolutely.
If you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.
Thank you.
Right.
Much love.